Arabella was the next to arrive in town. Likewise, she went to the tavern first, hoping to find her comrades.
Thank goodness you returned. Much has changed
The story
since
made
you
her
lived here,
blood
my
boil.
friend.
But Arabella was not as brash as Max. She decided to take her time searching around the town and gathering more information.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. Ogden has owned and run the Rising Sun Inn and Tavern for almost 4 years now. He purchased it just a few short months before everything here went to hell. He and his wife, Garda, do not have the money to leave as they invested all they had in making a life for themselves here. He is a good man with a deep sense of responsibility.
Well, what can I do for you? Your weapons and armor will show the signs of your struggles against the darkness. If you bring them to me, with a bit of work and a hot forge, I can restore them to top fighting form.
Exploring the town, Arabella eventually came upon Farum the drunk. She decided to speak with him.
drinking peace?
Perhaps there was some wisdom in his ramblings.
No one ever listens to me. Somewhere, I ain't too sure, but somewhere out of the church, a whole pile of gold. Gleaming, shining, just waiting for someone to get it.
Well, hearing that from the old drunk, she hoped it to be true. A little extra coin could help in this adventure.
Good day. How may I serve you? The woman at the edge of town is a witch. She seems nice enough, and her name, Adria, is very pleasing to the ear, but I'm very afraid of her. It would take someone quite brave like you to see what she is doing out there.
Something about a witch she heard, living off to the east. Perhaps she'd be willing to visit her later. After a little searching through the town, Arabella found a maimed boy hiding behind a tree. She approached him to see if he was all right.
Psst, over here. Kane knows too much. He scares the life out of me, even more than that woman across the river. He keeps telling me about how lucky I am to be alive, and how my story is foretold in legend. I think he's off his crock.
The young boy mentioned the witch to the east. But Arabella didn't have time to go looking for the witch. She said her goodbyes and made her way towards the church. And of course, as she made her way to the church, she saw the same wounded man and tried to assist him. He told her that Max had already gone ahead. She listened to his pleas nonetheless.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop.
Now she was aware of the same betrayal that Archbishop Lazarus leveled upon them. Knocking an arrow in her bow, she ascended into the dungeons.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Traveling in the darkness, Arabella noticed no sight of her companion Max. She was concerned that she saw monsters around every corner. And unbeknownst to Arabella, despite taking the exact same passage and going down the exact same set of stairs, she found herself in a much different place than Max did. Alright, so now we're playing the Rogue. The Rogue plays a bit differently than the Fighter, mostly because we're going to be playing the game fighting with our bow. She can equip swords and staffs, but like the Fighter and the Wizard, or the Sorcerer, they excel in their own particular areas. So she is better off with a bow, Max is better off with a melee weapon, and Karim is better off using his spells. Now, like with Max, you click to move around, and you click on an enemy when you want to attack it. Now, since she attacks at range, if you're not careful, you will sometimes end up walking towards your enemy instead of attacking it. So thankfully, if you hold down the shift key, you'll just fire in whatever direction you're aiming. Max and Karim can do the same thing, but it's especially useful for her and Karim. Arabella sensed something amiss about the sarcophagus. Before opening it, she took a moment to examine it. She discovered it was trapped, but sadly her skills were not able to overcome it. So that's one of the other benefits of playing the rogue that we're going to get. When she highlights an item that can be, not an item, but when she highlights a container that can be opened, it will either tell her that it's normal or that it's trapped. And if it's trapped, she can use her disarm skill to try to circumvent the trap. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, since Arabella fights with a bow, she can end most of her enemies at a distance, which is good because you don't want these guys getting too close and beating on her. She cannot take abuse the same way Max can. Alright, so now she's ready to level up. Just like Max, she gets 5 points to spend however she likes. Now, her strength and vitality won't get terribly high, but her dexterity, like Max's strength, can easily break 200. Now, I'm going to put some points into her magic, so that way she can learn spells as soon as we find them. After defeating the skeletons, Arabella noticed some tomes sitting on the tables. She took a moment to study them. She found a valuable book of healing and decided to put it to use. So, since we found that Tome of Healing, and our magic skill was high enough that we could use it, we now get the healing spell as one of our abilities, and we can switch to it whenever we like. In fact, I think for the time being, I'll keep it on. And we can use it whenever we like to heal. After dispatching 2 skeletons that stood guard, Arabella entered into a room where the floors were simply covered with gold. She wondered to herself, was this the place that the drunk had spoke of? Confident that she had explored every part of this level, Arabella made her way back to town, hoping that maybe she would find her companions safe and sound there. Arabella made her way to the tavern, hoping to catch word of her traveling companions.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Adria is wise beyond her years, but I must admit, she frightens me a little. Well, no matter. If you ever have need to trade in items of sorcery, she maintains a strangely well-stocked hut just across the river.
Hearing about the witch again, Arabella decided she would pay her a visit. Arabella found the witch and decided to approach her.
I sense a soul in search of answers. The greatest power is often the shortest lived. You may find ancient words of power written upon scrolls of parchment. The strength of these scrolls lies in the ability of either apprentice or adept to cast them with equal ability. Their weakness is that they must first be read aloud and can never be kept at the ready in your mind. Know also that these scrolls can be read but once, so use them with care.
After speaking briefly with the witch, Arabella decided that she would make a useful ally in the future, and that she'd be returning to her for more magical support. Arabella decided to quickly stop by the healer. Any of her companions were wounded, it's likely they would have gone to him for assistance.
I'm glad I caught up to you in time. Our wells have become brackish and stagnant, and some of the townspeople have become ill drinking from them. Our reserves of fresh water are quickly running dry. I believe that there is a passage that leads to the springs that serve our town. Please find what has caused this calamity, or we all will surely perish.
Arabella was not without heart. She decided she would do her best to help in this cause, provided she could find something below. Rested and well armed, Arabella descended near the crypts once more. With no sign of either of her companions, she decided there was only one option left. She would have to venture deeper down. When Karim arrived, he could sense something was unusual. But he thought better of it and headed to the cabin. His friends were supposed to be waiting for him there.
Thank goodness you returned. Much
Again
has
told
changed.
Karim the same story of destruction. So, Karim decided it was time to investigate his hunch. He traveled to the east, over the stream. There he found the witch Arabella and spoke with her.
I sense a soul in search of answers. Corruption has the strength of deceit, but innocence holds the power of purity. The young woman Jillian has a pure heart, placing the needs of her matriarch over her own. She fears me, but it is only because she does not understand me.
Karim knew the witch's potions and scrolls would become valuable. He knew he would be traveling back to her for assistance in the future. Karim stopped briefly to talk with the village elder. Perhaps he would have some
Hello,
sage
my
advice.
friend. Stay a while and listen. While you are venturing deeper into the labyrinth, you may find tomes of great knowledge hidden there. Read them carefully, for they can tell you things that even I cannot.
Karim decided to make one last stop. He would speak with the village healer.
What ails you, my friend? Even my skills have been unable to fully heal Farnham. Oh, I have been able to mend his body, but his mind and spirit are beyond anything I can do.
And with the knowledge that he had picked up, Karim ventured to the church. There Karim saw the same wounded man and tried to approach him. He spoke to him and heard that Max and Arabella had been there before him.
Please, listen to me.
And with that, the wounded man perished. And Karim, charging his magic and wielding his staff, vowed vengeance, went into the dungeon.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Almost instantly, Karim knew something was amiss. He could sense magic in the air. The entire layout of this place felt unnatural. we're playing Karim. Karim is a sorcerer. Now, most of his effects are going to be spells. And right now, he is equipped with Firebolt. Similarly to Max, he has the Staff Recharge skill, which will allow him to refill the charges on his staff's particular powers, but it will reduce the maximum number of charges that the staff has. So, just like Max, he's better off bringing his staffs back to Audra the Witch, or was it Aria? The Witch, and having her recharge them. Now, like Arabella, he's going to do most of his fighting from a distance.
Not enough mana.
Now, eventually, Karim will run out of magic
Not
power.
enough mana.
You have to wait for it to recharge before he can use it again. But luckily, he has special bonuses and abilities that put him above Max and Arabella. One of them is that his magic will recharge more quickly than theirs. He also casts spells more quickly. They're more accurate, and I think they also do more damage. What we're going to do is use one of his potions to just up his magic. So we're going to be relying on his spells to do most of his offense. Now there's an idea I've been playing around with, and I was thinking that perhaps if any of these characters die during the course of playing them, that will be it for them. Once they die, they're dead, and it's going to be up to whoever survives to try to beat the game. I'm not entirely sure I want to go with this idea. Let me know what you guys think. Now here's one of the benefits. We just leveled up, and our health and magic got restored. We're going to want to put that to good effect as often as possible. Now, his stats are also different from everyone else's. His strength and vitality will never get terribly high, but his magic will easily get the highest out of the three characters, I think getting to about 250. And we're going to want to get his magic as high as possible, because that is not only where he gets his mana to cast spells, it also determines how quickly his mana regenerates and how much mana he recovers when he drinks a potion. It's also going to determine how well he can learn spells, so we're going to put a lot of our points in the magic. Knowledge and wisdom comes at the cost of self. So, his magic jumped up, but it looks like his vitality went down. So that's one of those things you gotta be careful about. Also looks like his Firebolt spell went up a level. So remember how I mentioned that sometimes we'll find magic equipment, but we won't know what it does until we have it identified? Well, in this case, we have here the scroll of identifier. And we can use these instead of going back to the town and have a key with it. We have a magic staff and a magic key. So I think what we're going to do is check out the magic key and see what benefits it offers. Fortunately, it's a cave of disease. So if we put it on, our vitality will go down. And unfortunately, magic items that are cursed like this aren't worth as much as even unidentified magic items. So we We didn't strike out on this one. Alright, let's get back to the game. Karim is brave, but he is no fool. His trip into the Cathedral had left him tired and exhausted, and his skills taxed. He knew best to return to town to recover his strength. Tired from his trip, his first stop was a tavern. There he would rest and find more information.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Jillian, my barmaid? If it were not for her sense of duty to her grandam, she would have fled from here long ago. Goodness knows I begged her to leave, telling her that I would watch after the old woman, but she is too sweet and caring to have done so.
He then made his way to Pt.2. He needed to recover from his wounds.
What ails you, my friend? Griswold knows as much about the art of war as I do about the art of healing. He is a shrewd merchant, but his work is second to none. Oh, I suppose that may be because he's the only blacksmith left here.
With that, he then went to see the witch. He knew he would have need for potions.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
After purchasing scrolls and potions from the witch, Green decided best to leave his staff with her, so at such a point he could afford to have them charged. Rested and ready, he made his way back. Green traveled in, and saw the stairs that led down to the next level. He knew if he was to unravel the mysteries that resided here,